dozes in the dusk, throw it all away. You see a light wherever you go. You have to face it again and again.
In the age of agents, the world was unformed, surrounded by fog. This is behold my strength 456. In case you didn't know, a land of gray crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. I didn't record the in-game audio, so I'm kind of doing this. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Um, Heat and cold, life and death, and of course light and dark. I failed to record the in-game audio for this. There's normally somebody talking over this. Then from the dark they came, and found the souls of the Lord within the flame. This is post commentary too. It took me a while to find a mic so I could record my voice and stuff. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her Daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy so easily forgotten. With the strength of the lords, they challenge the dragons. Hopefully I can actually finish a Dark Souls playthrough this time around. Unlike on my previous channel, Gwyn's mighty bolts peered apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own. And the dragons were no more. So basically, this is a story about every big YouTuber. Yeah, no. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign. Yes, I had a previous channel, another channel or whatever, and I deleted it because of something that happened on there with the videos that I had on there. Because so many of them were deleted and I lost so many views or whatever, I just deleted my channel. But I don't know who the heck did it. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. I don't think it was YouTube. I'm pretty in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. I didn't get a very good look at what it was saying whenever the video, whenever I looked at my own videos in my playlist, and they were deleted or whatever what they said, where they are locked away to within into the world. I don't remember exactly what it said, so I think it said it was deleted from YouTube, not that YouTube deleted it. But this is your fate. But now that I have a new channel, I actually know what the fuck I'm doing. I'll I can take a different path with this channel, and yeah, I'm gonna do things a little differently. But and Bms456 begins his journey. The character creation system, yeah. Um, a new YouTuber setting up his YouTube account. Yeah, no. Take off that because when I'm Dragon School, yeah, no. Where they this character, I mean, mages come from. This black crystal, long a symbol of farewell, is granted to banished undead. The crystal sends phantoms back to their homes or sends you back to yours. Beware of fickle use of this item if you intend to nurture relations. Since mages have something to do with intelligence, you can. The dark sign signifies an accursed undead. Those branded with it are reborn after death, but will one day lose their mind and go hollow. That triggers the dark sign, which returns its bearer to the last bonfire rested at, but at the cost of all humanity and souls. This universal key opens any basic lock tool of the trade for thieves, but in the cursed land of undead, most doors are better left unopened. I got the master key because whatever. I wanted to do a run with it. Key to the dungeon of the undead's asylum to the north. A mysterious knight, without saying a word, shoved a corpse down into the cell, and on its person was his key. Who was this knight, and what was his purpose? I don't plan on doing any sequence breaking. I just did it so I could get a sword. Mainly elementary sorcery, fire soul arrow. Soul arrows inflict magic damage, making them effective against iron armor. Basic magic. The hilt of this lost sword is found in discarded in undead asylum, only slightly better than one's bare hands and not recommended for intensive use. Be certain to find a replacement quickly. Since you can, this is related to intelligence, you can hat warn my proper sorcerers who study at Venheim Dragon School. The majority take pride in having studied at the academy and look down on breaking the formal dress code established there. And all the other ones say the exact same thing. Um, the I guess you could say Venheim. It's a school. This character is me. Yeah, no. Originally from Southside, learned about. I mean, originally from a high school, junior high, whatever. Originally went to school and all the other crap that happened to me or what, and um, didn't get my high school diploma, and I learned a bunch of crap enough to apparently be smart enough to use solar. Um, Small leather covered round shield reinforced in critical spots with metal. Small shields are always less stable, but landing critical hits after parrying is easier. Um, of course, now the education system is the way it is, and it's there's a lot of things about it or whatever. I mean, you can learn more crap off the internet than you can um, at schools nowadays. It's so badly. The standard small dagger is only a modest attack. Good for backstabbing or riposte or whatever. It has a high crit ratio. It has a short reach, so there's nothing important in what I'm reading the item descriptions because there's little bits of the story that are in the item descriptions in certain items or whatever that you can. Yeah, there's not much story to this game, but um it's there if you want it. If you want to, yeah. I sped up a lot of this. It was over 2 hours long. Cut out a lot of crap. I may not do that as much in the next episode, but and brought it down to an hour. But blocked by some contraption. The hell? Explain this. Oh, you're no hollow, eh? Thank goodness, I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I were both undead. Hear me out, will you? Yeah. Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There's an old saying in my family, that who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. With thou ringest the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, you now know, and I can die with hope in my heart. One more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite. Um, that's Coke, dude. It's Coca-Cola. What the hell? Oh, and this. Undead Asylum F2 East Key. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death, so go now. And thank you. And that was Kobana Money 456. Yeah, no. Coke's I really like Coke, I guess. Well, I've never had beer or anything, as I'm 20, I'm not. Once I turn 21, I'll be, you know, um, you know, soda, Coke, and from my understanding, it tastes way better, but so it's kind of my drink, I guess you could say. Um, And yes, I died. I died, but I'm undead. Don't worry. Yeah, no. Um, my YouTube channel, my previous YouTube channel died. It was I mean, it was the same name. And I deleted all the. It's just all the videos and a lot of the crap I did on it are gone, and I don't have any subscribers or views I had. Not to mention most of the views are gone. Were gone because of whatever the hell happened for those videos to be deleted. I just got back on my channel one day and a bunch of videos were gone, and I'm like, what? And I like about a week ago, I just uploaded a video or whatever, and I was like this close to fixing the problems I was having with like re-uploading certain videos that I was wanting to re-upload, but I have no idea what who deleted that crap. Sorcery Catalyst used by sorcerers of Vinheim Dragon School. Equip Catalyst to use sorceries, attune sorceries from a scroll at a bonfire. Most sorceries have a limited number of uses. The undead treasure these dual green flasks fill with Estus at bonfires fills HP. The Estus flasks are linked to firekeepers. The Dark Tales also make references. An emerald flask from the Keeper's soul. She lives and dies to protect it further. The bonfire, that's our save point. We can use it to upgrade and do a bunch of crap, but later on or whatever. But it's just a respawn point right now. Um, Parrying and riposting completely f***ed that up. It has been a minute since I played this game, because I haven't had a computer in a long time or whatever. I finally got a new one in December. Um, it's in some ways it's better than the other one. I can run games on here better than the other one, and this isn't even a Windows 10. It's a Windows 8, but mm, so I could probably run Dark Souls 3 on here, but I mean I can run Metroid Prime on here now. So considering how much crap is required just to run games on that emulator for yeah we would need, but boss my took care of that really quickly. Use the game when humanity restores a large amount of HP. This black spread is called humanity, but little is known about its true nature. If the soul is the source of all life, then what distinguishes humanity we hold within ourselves? Ooh, deep, yeah, no. Key to the iron bars on the east side of the second floor of the North Undead Asylum. The Undead Asylum is a giant undead prison segmented by countless iron bars. Even if an undead were to escape from a cell, passage to the outside world would not be gained easily. Key to the inner door of the Undead Asylum main hall. Big key belonging to a chosen undead pilgrim, but this chosen undead knows not what the future holds. I'm gonna do a number of things like bleeping out, like whenever I cuss and stuff, but because I've heard YouTube has issues. Well, if you're monetized, YouTube has issues with it, but not that I gave a but I gotta do it anyways. They're okay with bleeping it out and stuff, but only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage. To the land of the ancient lords. Ordrin. Could have came up with a better name. Come on. Most people that are on YouTube, they're adults. I mean, most adults cuss. So it's like what? Hmm. There are so many kids getting on it nowadays. It's like, why did they even create YouTube Kids? I mean, nah. Level up and kindle at bonfires. Now we can level up. Not that leveling up is that big of a deal. Upgrading weapons and armor is where it's at. You don't have to upgrade armor though, but well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess, Fate of the Undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum, but too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually two bells of awakening. Oh, really? One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead? Well, we won't be doing that for a few episodes, but we'll get to that eventually. A couple of things we need to do before any of that. We might actually get to ring the first bell though in the next episode though, or it could be the third one. I know I can't run ads yet, but I guess it doesn't matter all that much if I upload like 5, 10 videos. to my channel. I mean, it doesn't really matter all that much. It would matter if I had like 50 or 100 on there, you know, like my previous channel, but because I have to go through each video one at a time, and yeah, I guess you could say I am sequence breaking, but it's not what I'm doing here isn't really that significant or whatever. I just get a sword and a firekeeper soul or whatever, and that's pretty much it. And then I also get heavy soul arrow, but that's that was calling it close there. Um, but that's all I really do down here, other than get a few levels. But uh, relatively powerful ranged weapon. That's just fire. Temporary curse allows engagement with ghosts. The only way to fight back against ghosts who are cursed beings is to become cursed oneself. The safest method, however dreadful, is to cut off an arm of the dead. Limit the victim of a curse. Soul of a lost undead. These pretty much give you souls. A certain amount of souls. Soul of a lost un gives you 200. Soul of a nameless soldier gives you 800. The largest of the thrusting swords can pierce an armored knight in one thrust. The blade is also sharp, allowing slicing as well. Um, Normal attack does thrusting attacks with that weapon. It's very uncommon. The heavy attack does a big slash. Some people like to use it. It's a dex weapon, but not that dex is the best thing to go with, but it's 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 not that bad. There's some pretty powerful weapons with dex anyways, but plus this is a PC that well obviously it's a PC. It's a desktop, not a laptop like I was using before. The controls that I'm using here are different and it's harder to play now, but on top of that, but on top of the fact that I haven't played it in a while, but the I don't know. They just decided to give me a computer one day or whatever, around Christmas or whatever. A family member, but well, they're not blood, but they're step, I guess you could say. But so we got two computers, but the other one wasn't as good in terms of graphics, but that one actually has a better monitor than the one I have. It's pretty like a bunch of lines and going through it. It's kind of hard to see what the screen because of um. Got that Firekeeper soul. Not that I need it right now. I mean, I'm pretty. My health isn't that highly upgraded. You know, I don't need an Estus Flask upgrade. It upgrades your Estus, gives you more health back whenever you use an Estus. Um, Humanity also gives you health back too. Even it gives you full health no matter how much health you have. Um, you couldn't tell there are a bunch of drakes down there. Probably not a. It's not a good idea to go down there right now. You can run by them. It's kind of easy to run by them. They do a crap ton of damage though, and they take a lot of hits even if you even at the late game. Even late game, they take a lot of hits. That undead Drake is asleep. You can pick up that sword, which is a you can only get access to that area with the master key. Getting that as the gift at the beginning of the game. More importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I am Rickard of Vidheim. I was once an established smith, but look at me now. Can you believe it? What is it? Have you... Oh no, don't worry. I have no intention of escape. It's safe here. I can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although I must admit, I've not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I will show you what made me the best in Vinheim. So yeah, this is probably the first blacksmith you can get access to. What is it? There's nothing to talk about. We're both cursed, undead, but what's there really to moan about? A lot of people the first time don't know this guy is down here, and because they can miss a few upgrades. Come back soon. Smithing helps soothe my nerves. Don't let me wither away out of idleness. And not having weapon upgrades, it could affect you greatly, in this game. So, soul of a proud knight, undead knight who has long ago gone. Yeah, whatever. That gives you 2,000. Soul of a proud knight. Large soul of a nameless soldier gives you 1,000. Firekeeper's soul. Each firekeeper is a corporeal manifestation of her bonfire and a draw for the humanity which is offered to her. Her soul is gnawed by infinite humanity and can boost the power of precious Estus Flask. It can be used to gain humanity and restore HP at the cost of losing the firekeeper's soul. To upgrade Estus Flask. You get heavy soul arrow from this guy. I need 4,000 souls though for it. Straight sword of an unknown knight, likely one of Astora's superiors. High quality weapon with a powerful blessing. What makes the Astora so good? At base level, it's about as powerful as like a +4, +5 longsword. It only has 5 upgrades though, but it scales down 3 different paths if you level. Um, so you can get pretty close to where normal weapons can get. Your face, you're practically hollow, but who knows, Pavalo could solve quite a bit. What, restoring your humanity? Well, there are a few ways to go about it. Collect it bit by bit from corpses, or you can butter up a cleric and get yourself summoned. And the quickest way, although I never do it, is to kill a healthy undead and pillage its humanity. It's only human after all. Ha 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 ha, whatever. What are you looking at? Don't try anything clever. You might regret it. What? You want to hear more? Oh, that's all we need. Another inquisitive soul. You. Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above at the undead church, but the lift is broken. You'll have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the undead burg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the undead burg within the plague-infested Blight Town, but I die again before I step foot in that cesspool. Ha 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 ha. Where that undead drake is, or whatever. There was another path that you seen. Bloody hell, what is it now? You ask too many questions. Um, what now? I'm not up for chatting. Leave me alone. Um, there's actually a path down to Blighttown there. That's actually how you're supposed to get out of Blighttown, but if you go in there with a master key, you can get into Blighttown. And that way, if I wanted to, I could go down there right now if I wanted to. The enemies there are some. There's some beefy enemies, and I've beaten it before or whatever. Go I did Blighttown, that part of Blighttown or whatever, and beaten the boss of the area. Going that way took me a few attempts, but just a bit of a challenge that I did on my previous channel, just showing that crap off. I might do it again as um sequence breaking, showing off those stuff. I always like doing videos about that on there, but just a way to cheese a Drake, grab those fire bombs that are up there. If you have if you go as sorcerer and have soul arrow, only get heavy soul arrow. It's more than enough to take down this guy. There's black fire bombs you can get later as an item. Just pick it up or whatever. So you don't have to have the soul arrow. That soul arrow, you can just get heavy soul arrow, but soul arrows, it's the basic thing. It's pretty weak compared to a lot of later ones. The Firekeeper, she's stuck keeping that bonfire lit. Sad, really. She's mute and bound to that forsaken place. They probably cut her tongue out back in her village so that she never say any god's name in vain. How do these martyrs keep chugging along? I'd peter out in an instant. Ha 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 ha. Hey, I don't see any problem with cussing. Heavy soul arrow, it's more powerful than soul arrow. It just takes longer to charge up. I like you a lot of times. I would like using the those type of magics or whatever. Just you can use the slower ones or whatever and do some pretty broken stuff with that. But um, using the heavier ones makes things a little more challenging and makes you feel good if you hit them with it. And, dragon skill for reinforcing dragon weapons built from an ancient dragon. A dragon is inseparable from its scales, and the transcendent apostles who seek the perpetuity of the ancient dragons have crossed the very end of the earth to seek this invaluable. Yeah. And I show off heavy soul arrow here. You need 12 intelligence for that, 10 for regular soul arrow. You need 10 strength, 10 dex, and 14 faith. There's a lot of requirements for certain shields, weapons, in this game. Shield of a nameless knight, likely high ranked knight of a story. One of the enchanted blue shields, a dragon crest shield that has high resistance to fire. I went over here and tried to continue on in the ghost area, and I got my by this ghost here. um, I left myself open to that heavy attack there because of how low my health is. Uh, One round of that will kill me, but it's slow and it's something that I shouldn't have gotten hit by. I felt stupid getting hit by it then, but fortunately, for some reason, whenever I went through this area, the ghost dropped a transient curses for some reason. If you, the only way you can hurt the ghost is is by using transient curses or whatever. If you if you don't, you can't hurt them, and if you use your shield, they'll just go straight through it like it's not even there. And if you use it in the transient curse, the shields work. But the transient curse only lasts for a limited amount of time. They drop weapons that actually they're very rare weapons that they drop, but they drop weapons that you can get that you won't actually need to use transient curses to hurt them with the weapons that they happen to use, but um, I happen to be using. Um, there's special weapons too. The Asaurus Straight Sword is upgraded with a certain type of upgrade material. The same thing that those weapons are upgraded by as well, and they only upgrade 5 times. And they have a high damage output at base level too, but the Asaurus is better in terms of damage output. It's a split damage weapon. Splits in between physical and magic. Has to go through 2 sets of defenses instead of just one. It does divine damage though, and because it has because you can get it so early on, and yeah, it's a lot of people, yeah. You have to wait for this ghost to come out. Takes a minute or two. Coming out of the walls. Sometimes if you're fighting the other ghosts, though, he'll come out. Don't want to just go running in there or whatever because it could catch you off guard. This is actually an area that you're not supposed to be going through until later. But I go halfway through it. I've gone through this area um, like really early on before, um, once in a video, but they have the ghosts are particularly annoying enemies to deal with in the game, and they're the the last area that you well the area if you go beyond where I went in this video or whatever, there's a really annoying part that you have to go through. You're in this building. There's like a group of about 5 or 10 ghosts you have to face at once if you're not careful about it. If you're careful, there's still a certain number of ghosts. You're pretty much outnumbered, and um, it's an annoying area to go through compared to the first half of this. But especially with the amount of health I have, with the sorcerer as a starter character has a pretty low amount of health compared to the other starter characters. Parrying dagger. This dagger is useful after parrying. It is normally equipped in the left hand in favor of the Knights of Kareem, who are famous for fighting without shields. Bad idea. Bad idea if you're going up against these ghosts. This ghost, he kept bouncing up into the air where I couldn't hit him. I don't think I could have hit him with a two-hand R1 or regular attack. Here, I definitely couldn't have hit him, I'm pretty sure. It's too far away. I don't think I've ever had this happen with this ghost before. So I just take him out here with soul arrow. This ghost over here, she's actually a female. There's a baby in her hand actually. Um, she has a lot more health, and she doesn't have very much in the ways of melee, but her magic attacks are annoying, making her probably even more annoying than those other ghosts. Um, those magic attacks, from my memory, would one-shot me, but with the level of health I have. The sorcerer is probably one of the worst starter characters to go with, but it's has a pretty high amount of intelligence. Mm. I I decided to run past these drakes just to get to just to unlock a shortcut for later, which I'm probably not gonna get to even doing anything with it until late game. But or whenever I actually get to the area where the that shortcut actually leads to. I'm not really sure if I would even want to try and fight these drakes, but at that point, and that humanity is it's not a good idea to get that humanity if you're trying to run by them or whatever. Uh, I mean, it is possible to get by those drakes and get that humanity, but it's better not to get it. You're in that enclosed area, and the drakes could probably shoot lightning at you or whatever. If not, I prefer to keep a distance if possible. This is Petrus of Thorland. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this as a token of peace. No, go ahead, it's for you. Um, oh my. You again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you? I guess. Well, very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods. I guess just to see what you have, whatever. Yeah, this dude has a weird haircut too. Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith. Gestures shrug. My companions are Milady and her young and an undead mission. We are her defenses to keep her from harm. And her young an undead mission. Regrettably, I cannot share that with you. But you are my pupil, perhaps, if you show your faith. Yeah, it was a little short here. I am afraid that may be difficult. If you come here with this little solo, you can kind of get what he's saying. Not that he gives you anything, he just tells you a piece of lore, I guess. I don't know. Um, I remember I had a soul in my thing or whatever that I might have been. That I used just now to try and get that dialogue, but I failed miserably. Um, I'll show it off in the next episode what he says, but cracked red eye orb. Defeat the master will you have evaded to acquire humanity. The cracked red eye orb allows players to temporarily imitate the ability normally limited to dark race of Cath. Evade another world. Hollows cannot use the item. It's an online play item. So you guys enjoying Dark Souls Remastered? Yeah, no. Coin made of copper. His face shows old man Mikloif, god of medicine and drink. Even coins of great value in the world of men have little value in Lordran, where the accepted currency is soul. Those who dream of return to the outside world are fond of carrying these around. I mean, there's not. The only reason that you would probably get remastered is medium for casting miracles of the gods. Standard talisman issued to common believers. Equip talisman to cast miracles. Attune miracles from the scroll at a bonfire. It is for the PvP like on console or whatever. But there's a PC version and it's like nah. In fact, from my memory, it's hard. I mean, I don't think you can use any mods with it. I mean, it's probably just better to go with the Prepare to Die edition. And with a sharp spike on its pommel, one of the more barbaric cleric weapons. Because there's so many mods out there, you know? I mean, and combined with all those mods, it's pretty much almost as good as the remastered version that they just came out with. The game's like Talisman utilized by all Father Lords, Cleric Knights to hunt down the undead. Block Estus recovered with a limited area. In the outside world, the undead are cursed creatures. The Lord's Cleric Knights are widely praised for their undead hunts. This blessed talisman blocks undead recovery, allowing the knights to fight with impunity. Um, the with mods and stuff, it's not that much better in terms of graphics and stuff. Remastered or whatever, and this is remastered came out like it was like 2012. The prepared to die edition came out. It was just like last year. It was 2017 or last year that it came out. I'm pretty sure it was 2018. It's not much of an update at all, unless you're wanting to go with PvP. But over the over the internet, it's definitely not something you're gonna want to do on PC or whatever. Because if a game like the Prepared to Die edition is out for a while, people will find ways to hack into it, and people, that yeah. So yeah, most of the time, if you're using the PC version, a lot of times when you're playing Dark Souls, stay offline. There's so many hackers out there that um, cause the game to crap out so much that they actually cause the game to crash. But and it's really mess with you. But really prevent you from making any progress at all. Better just to stay offline. But these skeletons have a not enemies you should. I mean, this area, it's not an area you should be going down near your first time. These skeletons are annoying. Um, but you can just hit them over and over again with your fist, and they'll just fall down in pieces or whatever. That's something that you can do. Um, Thrusting attacks do the same thing. But you need a decent weapon like the Astores in order to do anything at all. It takes like 5 thrusting attacks. Take him down. Round wooden shield crafted in the Lord are decorated by an ancient blue caduceus. The giant trees in Lord are a distant offspring of the great stone arch trees. The shield inherits their properties, and the wood greatly reduces magic damage. Parrying them, that's not a good option either. Um, they're a lot of the attacks are that they do or whatever. Most of them have different timings, and which can cause issues. But if you have a weapon like the Astoras that does divine damage, then yeah, I mean it's not really that big of a deal against these skeletons, but in the area in the catacombs, which is nearby, there are these necromancers that cause them to come back to life over and over and over again. If you have a divine weapon or whatever, um, the giant trees in Lord and a distant offspring and the great stone arch trees, this shield inherits their properties in the wood, greatly reduces magic damage. Round wooden shield crafted in Lordran. Uh, Pretty much just like the other shield I just picked up just now. When the skeletons down in the catacombs, they constantly come back to life. If you have a divine weapon, they don't come back to life, and they die instantly, and you get souls from. And yeah, that's essentially yeah. Of course, if you sit down on a bonfire, the enemies will respawn anyways. But those necromancers will make them come back to life over and over again without sitting at a bonfire. But that's what makes that area kind of annoying. The weapons that these guys have too, they do bleed damage too, which not very. Yeah, this group of skeletons here, you do not want to with them. Just saying. We got three little skeletons here and one big giant skeleton. This area is not advisable your first time, not until you get some serious equipment. I took him out with just a bunch of heavy soul arrows, but it's because I've had practice. A long-hilted spear with a barred point, long reach, and can be used with shield up, effective against hard exteriors, and hits for high damage at the right moment of an enemy swing, but the hit radius is small and it um, one of the gigantic straight great swords. Why? As the name suggests, this right-hander is held with two hands, but his wielder must still be inhumanly strong. It is the great weight that sends flows flying. Of course, using magic is easier than. Yeah, this advanced device was built by a famous craftsman of Astora. Its utility is singular, but it's considering that the people from Astora can craft stuff like this, stuff that was made like in the 18th and 19th, so they seem pretty advanced for their compared to other races in this game. Kind of like the Chozo in the way, like in Metroid, I guess. This game's hmm, elementary miracle class by the cleric. She stores HP. To cast a miracle, the caster learns a tale of the gods and says a prayer to blessed by its religion. He lives the shortest of such miraculous tales. Um, Obviously, you need a talisman for that. For magic stuff, you need source for catalyst and stuff. Um, I am really tired today. I'd probably be able to. I guess I'm doing an all right job commentating on this, talking and stuff. Um, but I'd probably be doing better if I wasn't so nah. But this is so that's gonna do it. Um, Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later.
Darkness that dozes in the dusk, throw it all away. No one can break you, nobody can tear you. You live an endless life forever. Hold on to darkness that dozes in the dusk, throw it all away. You see a light wherever